Imagine for a moment a place where the very fabric of existence seems to collapse into itself, a void so profound that even light, the fastest traveler in our universe, cannot break free from its grasp. Picture a darkness so absolute that it whispers of secrets beyond comprehension, pulling at the edges of your curiosity as you lie awake in the stillness of night. This is the realm of the black hole, a cosmic enigma that defies everything we think we know about reality. It is not merely a phenomenon of space, but a haunting invitation to ponder the boundaries of understanding itself. What is it about these invisible giants, these abysses of infinite depth, that captivates us so completely, drawing our minds into their silent, unending pull? Let us linger on this thought, allowing it to unfold slowly, like a shadow stretching across a quiet landscape. A black hole is not just an object, not just a point in the vastness of the cosmos. It is a tear in the very structure of space and time, a place where the rules that govern our everyday lives, gravity, motion, even the steady tick of the clock, seem to unravel into something altogether alien. Imagine standing at the edge of such a void, though you could never truly stand there, for to approach a black hole is to surrender to forces beyond imagination. Yet, in the theatre of your mind, feel the weight of its presence, an unseen hand that tugs not just at matter, but at the essence of what it means to exist. Why does this darkness, this absence, feel so alive with questions? Why does it seem to mirror the unanswerable mysteries that stir within us when the world grows quiet? Consider the nature of this allure, this strange fascination that has gripped humanity since we first glimpsed the possibility of such entities through equations and observations. Long before we could capture their shadowy outlines with telescopes or hear the ripples of their violent dances through gravitational waves, black holes lived in the realm of thought, born from the daring minds of physicists like Carl Schwarzschild, and later Albert Einstein, whose theories of relativity hinted at a universe far stranger than we could have dreamed. These were not discoveries of sight, but of imagination, of wrestling with the idea that something could be so dense, so impossibly heavy, that it warps reality into a funnel of no return. Isn't it remarkable how something we cannot truly see, something that by its very nature hides from us, can hold such power over our thoughts? It is as if the black hole is not just a physical void, but a philosophical one, a canvas upon which we paint our deepest yearnings to understand the unknown. Take a moment to reflect on this. Feel the weight of that darkness in your mind, the way it seems to pull at the edges of your awareness, much like it pulls at the fabric of space. What is it within us that resonates with this image of endless depth? Is it fear of being consumed by something greater than ourselves? Or is it a longing to dive into the mystery, to lose ourselves in a truth that lies beyond the horizon of what we can grasp? Perhaps it is both. A dance of dread and desire, a reminder that the universe is not merely a collection of stars and planets, but a tapestry woven with threads of the incomprehensible. Let us drift deeper into this thought, considering how a black hole challenges the very notion of presence. It exists, undeniably, its influence felt in the way it bends starlight and devours matter, yet it cloaks itself in invisibility. It is a paradox, a thing that is and is not, a reminder of how much of reality slips through the fingers of our understanding. In the quiet of your own mind, you might feel this tension, this pull towards something that cannot be fully known. Isn't there something oddly familiar in this? Don't we too carry within us voids of our own? Questions without answers, memories that fade into shadow, dreams that slip away upon waking. The black hole, in its silent enormity, seems to whisper of these inner abysses, inviting us to gaze into its depths and see not just a cosmic wonder, but a reflection of our own endless search for meaning. And so, as we linger here, suspended in thought at the edge of this unimaginable void, let us not rush to define or conquer it. Let us simply be with it, allowing its mystery to wash over us like a gentle tide. The black hole does not demand answers. It offers only questions, each one a thread that ties us to the vast, unknowable expanse of existence. What draws you to this darkness? What unspoken wonders or fears does it awaken in the quiet corners of your soul? As the night deepens around you, let these thoughts drift, carrying you into a space where curiosity and wonder need no resolution, only the soft embrace of contemplation. Imagine for a moment that you are standing on the very edge of the universe's greatest mystery, a precipice where the known world falls away into an endless void. You are at the event horizon of a black hole, that invisible boundary where reality seems to fold in on itself, a place from which nothing, not even light, can return. Can you feel the weight of this moment, the silent pull of something so vast, so unknowable, that it seems to tug not just at your body, but at the very fabric of your thoughts? What lies beyond this point of no return, and why does it feel as though this cosmic abyss mirrors the uncharted depths within ourselves? Picture yourself hovering there, weightless, suspended in the infinite dark. The event horizon is not a wall or a barrier you can touch. It is a concept, a line drawn by the laws of physics, marking the threshold between what we can comprehend and what we cannot. On this side, the universe still makes sense. Stars shimmer in the distance, time flows as we expect, and gravity is a familiar force. But cross that line, and everything changes. Time slows to a crawl, space warps into shapes our minds struggle to grasp, and the rules that govern existence seem to dissolve like mist. What would it be like to take that final step, to let yourself be drawn into the unknown? Would you feel fear, or would a strange peace settle over you as you surrender to the inevitable? This boundary, this event horizon, is more than a physical frontier. It feels almost like a metaphor for the limits of human understanding. Think about the edges of your own mind, those places where questions linger without answers, where doubts and dreams swirl in a darkness you cannot fully illuminate. Just as the black hole hides its secrets beyond this point of no return, don't we too carry mysteries within us? Thoughts and fears and longings that we dare not cross into, yet cannot escape. What is it about the unknown that both terrifies and beckons us, as if it holds a truth we are not yet ready to face? Take a moment to reflect on this. Imagine yourself standing at your own personal event horizon, some boundary in your life or mind that you've hesitated to cross. What lies on the other side, and why does it pull at you with such quiet, relentless force? As we linger here, gazing into the abyss, let's consider the nature of this pull. Scientists tell us that the event horizon is not a place of destruction, not yet. It is simply the point where escape becomes impossible, where the gravity of the black hole claims everything that ventures too close. But isn't there something poetic in that? Isn't there a kind of beauty in the idea of being wholly consumed by something greater than yourself? Something so profound that it rewrites the very laws of existence? Perhaps this is why the black hole captivates us, not just as a cosmic phenomenon, but as a reflection of our deepest existential yearnings. We are drawn to the edge because it promises revelation, even if that revelation comes at the cost of everything we know. And so, we stand here, at the brink of the incomprehensible, feeling the silent weight of what lies beyond. What secrets does this darkness hold? And why does it feel as though, in staring into it, we are staring into a mirror of our own souls? The event horizon does not answer. It only waits, patient and eternal, for us to decide whether we will turn away or let ourselves fall. Imagine, for a moment, a star, a colossal giant burning with unimaginable fury at the edge of its life. It has shone for millions of years, a beacon of light and energy in the vast emptiness of space, but now its time is running out. In a final act of defiance against the void, it collapses under the weight of its own existence, imploding in a cataclysm so violent that it shakes the fabric of the cosmos. From this destruction, something unfathomable is born, a black hole, a cosmic monster with a heart of infinite density, a scar on reality itself. How can such devastating ruin give rise to an entity so mysterious, so beyond our grasp? And what might this cycle of creation through collapse whisper to us about the nature of endings in our own fleeting lives? Let's linger on this moment of birth, this violent genesis. A star in its dying breath does not simply fade away. It turns inward, crushed by the relentless force of gravity, its core compressing into a point so small, so dense, that it defies every law of physics we hold dear. This is the Singularity, a place where space and time seem to fold in on themselves, where the rules of existence are rewritten. Picture the sheer power of this event. Layers of stellar material, once radiant with heat and light, now consumed by an insatiable pull, leaving behind a void that hungers for everything in its reach. It's a transformation that feels almost mythic, as if the universe itself is sculpting a monument to both destruction and rebirth. Does this not mirror the way our own endings, those moments of profound loss or change, can carve new paths, even as they tear us apart? Consider the paradox at the heart of this process. A star, once a source of life and illumination, becomes a harbinger of oblivion. Yet, in its collapse, it does not cease to exist. It evolves into something else entirely, something that challenges the very boundaries of what we understand. The black hole emerges as a testament to the universe's capacity for reinvention, a reminder that even in the face of total annihilation, there is a kind of continuity, a hidden potential waiting to unfold. Take a moment to reflect on this. Have there been moments in your own journey where what seemed like an end was merely the seed of a new beginning, buried beneath the weight of what was lost? And what of the violence itself? The death of a massive star is no quiet passing. It erupts in a supernova, a blinding explosion that outshines entire galaxies for a fleeting instant, scattering its remnants across the cosmos. These remnants, dust and gas, will one day coalesce to form new stars, new worlds, perhaps even new life. Yet, at the center of this chaos lies the black hole, silent and insatiable, a remnant of what once was, now a force that devours light itself. There's a strange poetry in this duality, isn't there? Creation and destruction, intertwined in an eternal dance, each giving meaning to the other. Could this be a reflection of the cycles we experience within ourselves, the way our own struggles, our own collapses, often pave the way for growth, even as they leave behind voids we cannot fully comprehend? As we ponder this cosmic birth, let's not shy away from the mystery of what follows. A black hole, born from such cataclysm, becomes a keeper of secrets, a place where the laws of reality are bent and broken. Its origins are rooted in violence, yet its presence is one of eerie stillness, a quiet that seems to mock our attempts to understand it. What does this teach us about the nature of endings? Are they merely moments of destruction, or are they, like the birth of a black hole, the starting points of something we cannot yet fathom? Perhaps, in the silence that follows collapse, there is a promise, an unspoken assurance that even the most devastating ends carry within them the potential for something vast and unknowable. Dwell on this thought as the image of that dying star lingers in your mind. Picture its final, brilliant flare against the infinite dark, a cry of defiance before it succumbs to its own weight. And from that ruin, imagine the black hole taking shape, a void that is both an end and a beginning, a monster born of a star's last breath. What does this cycle stir within you? Does it evoke a sense of awe, or perhaps a quiet unease at the impermanence of all things? Let these questions drift with you, like stardust scattered across the void, as we sit with the weight of creation forged in collapse. Imagine a world where time itself begins to falter, where the steady tick of a clock slows to a crawl, as though caught in an unseen web. Picture yourself standing at the edge of something so vast, so incomprehensible, that the very fabric of reality seems to bend under its weight. This is the realm near a black hole, a place where time, as we know it, distorts in ways that defy our deepest intuitions. What happens when the relentless march of seconds stumbles? And what might this strange phenomenon whisper to us about the nature of existence itself? Let's linger here for a moment, on the threshold of the event horizon, that invisible boundary, surrounding a black hole where escape becomes impossible. If you were to hold a clock in your hand and drift closer to this edge, something extraordinary would unfold. To someone watching from a safe distance, far from the black hole's grasp, your clock would appear to tick ever more slowly. The seconds would stretch into eternities, as though time itself were reluctant to move forward. If you crossed that fateful line to the distant observer, your clock and you would seem to freeze entirely, suspended in a single unending moment. Yet, from your perspective, time would flow as it always has, unchanged, unremarkable, until the void claimed you completely. How can such a paradox exist, where two realities of time clash so starkly? Does this suggest that time is not the universal constant we imagine, but rather a fragile illusion shaped by the forces that surround us? This warping of time near a black hole is more than a curiosity of physics. It pulls us into deeper waters of thought. Consider how we live our lives bound by the rhythm of hours and days, measuring our existence by the steady progression of moments. We trust in time's consistency, as if it were a river that always flows at the same pace. But what if that river could slow to a trickle, or even stand still without us ever noticing the change within our own frame? Near a black hole, the very essence of duration bends under the immense pull of gravity, revealing that time is not an absolute truth, but a perception, a construct that shifts with the observer. Could this mean that our own experience of time, our memories, our anticipation of the future, is equally subjective, shaped by forces we cannot see or name? Take a moment to reflect on this. How often do we feel time slipping away too quickly in moments of joy, or dragging endlessly through periods of sorrow? Is it possible that our inner world, much like the space near a black hole, distorts the flow of time in ways we cannot measure, only feel? Perhaps our minds, in their quiet depths, mirror these cosmic distortions, stretching or compressing the essence of a single second to match the weight of our emotions. Let's dive further into this mystery by considering what this temporal distortion hints at beyond our immediate grasp. If time can slow to near stillness at the edge of a black hole, might there be places in the universe, or even within the folds of reality, where time ceases to exist altogether? Some theories whisper of hidden dimensions, realms where the concepts of past, present, and future dissolve into meaninglessness. Imagine a state of being where every moment collapses into one, where the very idea of progression becomes obsolete. What would it mean to exist in such a place, untethered from the arrow of time that defines our lives? Would we find liberation in such a timeless void? Or would the absence of change become a prison of its own? History, too, offers us a lens to ponder this enigma. Centuries ago, before the mathematics of Einstein illuminated the bending of space and time, philosophers and mystics grappled with the nature of duration. In ancient texts, time was often seen as cyclical, a wheel turning endlessly, rather than a line marching forward. Yet near a black hole, even cycles might falter, caught in the gravitational snare. What would those ancient thinkers make of a place where time itself seems to hesitate, as if unsure whether to proceed? Might they have seen it as a glimpse of the divine, a crack in the mortal world revealing something eternal, or something utterly unknowable? As we linger on this thought, let's imagine a simpler analogy, a quiet stream in a forest. From a distance, the water appears to flow smoothly, predictably, from source to sea. But step closer, and you see eddies and whirlpools, places where the current slows or spins against itself, defying the broader motion. Near a black hole, time behaves like that stream, caught in unseen currents of gravity, twisting in ways that challenge our understanding of flow. Does this suggest that time, much like the stream, is not a singular force, but a tapestry of variations, woven together by forces we are only beginning to comprehend. And so, we stand at this cosmic edge, gazing into a reality where time loses its familiar shape. What does this distortion murmur to us about our own lives? About the moments we cling to or let slip away? If time can bend so dramatically in the presence of a black hole, might it also bend within us, shaped by the gravity of our choices, our fears, our dreams? Perhaps the true mystery lies not just in the physics of the void, but in the way it reflects the unseen distortions within ourselves, inviting us to question whether we truly know the nature of the now. Take a moment to reflect on this. Let your mind drift to a memory where time seemed to slow or hasten beyond reason. What invisible forces might have been at play, pulling at the edges of your perception? As you ponder, let the quiet enigma of time's distortion linger, a gentle riddle to carry into the stillness of the night. Imagine, for just a moment, a place where the very fabric of existence collapses into a single, unfathomable point. A place so dense, so incomprehensibly heavy, that it defies everything we know about the universe. This is the singularity, the heart of a black hole, a mystery wrapped in an enigma, hidden at the core of cosmic darkness. It is a concept that stretches the boundaries of our understanding, pulling us into a quiet, almost reverent contemplation of what lies beyond the limits of human thought. What could possibly exist in a realm where space and time as we know them simply cease to be? Let us linger on this idea of the singularity, a point of infinite density where the mass of an entire star, or sometimes many stars, is compressed into something smaller than an atom. Picture this unimaginable weight, this crushing force, contained in a space so minuscule that it escapes our ability to visualize it. How can something so vast become so small? How can the remnants of a once blazing giant, a star that illuminated the cosmos for millions of years, be reduced to a mere whisper of existence? It is as if the universe itself has folded inward, guarding its deepest secret in a vault that no key can unlock. The singularity challenges the very laws of physics, rendering our equations meaningless, as if to remind us that there are truths beyond calculation, beyond comprehension. Consider the paradox that lies at the heart of this mystery. The singularity is both everything and nothing, a place where all the matter and energy of a collapsed star resides, yet a place where the rules of reality seem to vanish. It is a void that contains multitudes, a silence that roars with the weight of creation. Does this not mirror the contradictions we often face within ourselves? We too carry vastness within our minds and hearts, thoughts and emotions so profound. They defy expression, yet we struggle to grasp their full depth. Perhaps the singularity is not just a cosmic anomaly, but a reflection of our own inner landscapes. Those places within us where meaning collapses into mystery, where understanding slips through our fingers like sand. Take a moment to reflect on this. How often do we encounter ideas or experiences that push us to the edge of what we can know? What do we do when we stand before a concept so immense, so alien, that it humbles us into silence? The singularity is not merely a phenomenon of the stars. It is a quiet invitation to confront the limits of our own perception, to question whether there are boundaries to knowledge itself, or if, like the black hole's core, the truth is simply beyond our reach. Let us delve deeper into this cosmic riddle. Scientists describe the singularity as a breakdown of general relativity, a point where the curvature of space-time becomes infinite, where our models of the universe falter. It is as though the universe has written a story with an ending we cannot read, a final chapter sealed in impenetrable darkness. Some theorists speculate that quantum mechanics might offer a glimpse into this hidden realm, suggesting that the singularity is not a true point, but a region of exotic, unimaginable physics. Others ponder if it could be a gateway, a tear in the fabric of reality leading to realms unknown. Yet, for now, these are mere whispers of possibility, echoes of a truth we cannot yet touch. Imagine standing before this enigma, not with telescopes or equations, but with the raw curiosity of a child gazing at the night sky. What would you ask of the singularity if it could speak? Would you seek to know its nature, its purpose? Or would you simply listen, letting its silence teach you something about the vastness of the unknown? There is a strange comfort in this mystery, a reminder that not all questions need answers, that some wonders are meant to remain unsolved. The singularity exists as a quiet sentinel at the edge of understanding, beckoning us to ponder not just the universe, but our place within it. As we dwell on this thought, let us consider what the singularity reveals about the nature of limits. In our daily lives, we often strive to overcome barriers, to push beyond what we believe is possible. Yet here, in the heart of a black hole, we encounter a limit that may be absolute, a boundary not of effort or will, but of reality itself. Does this frustrate us, or does it free us? Does it remind us to embrace the mysteries that surround us, to find peace in the unanswered? Perhaps the singularity is not a challenge to be conquered, but a mirror held up to our own humility, a gentle nudge to accept that some depths are meant to remain unexplored. Take a moment to reflect on this. What mysteries in your own life feel as impenetrable as the singularity? What questions linger in the quiet corners of your mind, defying resolution? Let yourself sit with these thoughts, not seeking answers, but simply feeling the weight of their presence, much like the infinite density at the core of a cosmic void. And so, we linger here, in the shadow of the singularity, a concept that humbles us with its sheer impossibility. It is a reminder that the universe is not merely a collection of stars and galaxies, but a tapestry woven with threads of the unknown. As we contemplate this point of infinite mystery, we are invited to look inward, to wonder at the vastness within ourselves. For in the silence of the singularity, there is not just a challenge to our understanding, but a quiet call to marvel at the beauty of what we cannot grasp. Imagine a force so powerful, so unrelenting, that it bends the very fabric of the universe into a trap from which nothing can escape. A force that warps reality itself, pulling everything toward an inevitable end. This is the grip of gravity. Near a black hole, a phenomenon so intense it feels almost personal, as if it reaches out to tug at the edges of our own existence. What is it about this invisible, unyielding power that feels so familiar, so haunting, as we ponder it in the stillness of the night? Picture yourself drifting in the vast emptiness of space, far from any star or planet, drawn inexorably toward the heart of a black hole. As you approach, the pull grows stronger, not just on your body, but on the very essence of what you perceive as real. Space itself seems to curve inward, like a funnel spiraling down into an endless abyss. Time stretches, warping in ways that defy comprehension, as if the universe is folding in on itself just to drag you closer. Would you feel this pull as a physical weight, a crushing force on your being? Or would it be subtler, a distortion so profound that reality itself begins to unravel around you, leaving you suspended in a state of eternal falling? This gravitational grip is no mere scientific curiosity. It is a reminder of forces far beyond our control, forces that shape the cosmos and, in quieter ways, shape us. Think of the unseen influences in your own life, those invisible currents of expectation, fear, or longing that draw you towards certain paths, certain destinies. Like gravity near a black hole, they are often imperceptible until you're too close to escape their hold. They bend your choices, distort your sense of time, pulling you into patterns you may not even recognize until you're spiraling inward. What are the black holes in your own existence? Those inescapable forces that shape who you are, even as you struggle to understand them. Consider the nature of gravity itself, this relentless law of attraction that governs the dance of stars and galaxies. Near a black hole, it becomes a tyrant, a force so overwhelming that it defies every other rule of physics. Light, the fastest thing we know, cannot outrun it. Matter, no matter how resilient, is consumed by it. It's as if gravity here reveals its true face, not as a gentle guide keeping planets in orbit, but as an insatiable hunger, a cosmic will that demands everything surrender to its embrace. Does this not echo something within us? A primal drive to possess, to hold, to never let go, even when it means destruction. Take a moment to reflect on this. What forces in your life pull with such ferocity? And do you resist them, or do you let yourself fall? Historically, humanity has always been captivated by forces we cannot see but can feel in our bones. Ancient civilizations spoke of gods and spirits that governed the tides, the winds, the very earth beneath their feet. They built myths around these unseen powers, stories of attraction and inevitability, much like we now weave theories around black holes. Gravity, in its most extreme form, is not just a physical law, but a philosophical mirror. It asks us to confront the idea of surrender, of being drawn into something larger than ourselves, something we cannot fight or flee. In the quiet of this thought, there is a strange peace, a recognition that not all forces are meant to be resisted, that sometimes falling is the only way to understand where we truly stand. And so, as you imagine yourself caught in this gravitational trap, spiraling ever closer to the heart of the void, let your mind linger on the unseen. Let it wander to those quiet, powerful currents that shape your days, often without a whisper of warning. What pulls at you with a force you cannot name? What distorts your reality, bending your path into shapes you never intended? There is no need for answers now, only the gentle invitation to ponder, to feel the weight of these questions settle over you like a soft, inevitable tide. Let them carry you deeper into thought, as gravity carries all things toward the unknown. Imagine for a moment that you are drifting through the boundless expanse of space, weightless and untethered, drawn inexorably toward a darkness so profound it seems to consume the very fabric of reality. As you approach this cosmic void, a black hole, something strange begins to happen. The forces at play here are not gentle. They are relentless, tearing at the seams of existence itself. Your very being, every atom that composes you, starts to stretch, pulled apart in a surreal, almost surrealistic unraveling. This is no mere thought experiment. It is a phenomenon with a name as unsettling as the process itself: spaghettification. Picture this process unfolding, not with violence or chaos, but with a slow, inevitable grace. As you near the event horizon of the black hole, the tidal forces, born from the immense gravitational gradient, begin their work. Your feet, closer to the singularity at the heart of this void, are pulled with a force far greater than that, acting on your head. The difference is not subtle, it is profound. You are stretched, elongated into a thin, thread-like form, a strand of existence drawn out against the infinite black canvas. Atom by atom, bond by bond, the structure of what you are is dismantled, not destroyed in the conventional sense, but transformed into something unrecognizable. It is a quiet, methodical deconstruction, as if the universe itself is unraveling the very idea of you. But let us pause here, in this moment of cosmic distortion, to consider a deeper question. Is this spaghettification merely a physical phenomenon, a quirk of gravity's unrelenting grip, or does it carry a symbolic weight that echoes within us? Think of the times in life when we encounter the unknown, those vast, uncharted territories of experience or thought that loom before us like an abyss. Do we not, in some way, feel ourselves pulled apart by the sheer magnitude of what we cannot grasp? Our certainties, our neatly constructed ideas of self and world, begin to stretch thin, fragmenting under the pressure of questions without answers. Just as the body yields to tidal forces near a black hole, so too does our understanding yield to the mysteries we cannot contain. Take a moment to reflect on this. Have you ever felt yourself unraveling in the face of something vast, something beyond comprehension? Consider too the paradox at the heart of this phenomenon. Spaghettification is not just an ending, it is a transformation. What was once whole becomes something else, something stretched across the boundary of the known and unknown. In the realm of physics, this process hints at the limits of our models, the places where equations falter and reality slips through our fingers. But in a philosophical sense, it mirrors the human condition. We are beings of structure, craving, order and coherence, yet we are constantly drawn to the edges of what we cannot understand, to the black holes of thought and emotion that threaten to pull us apart. And in that pulling, in that fragmentation, is there not a kind of beauty? A reminder that to be human is to be perpetually reshaped by the forces we cannot control? Let us linger on this image for a while longer. A form, once familiar, now a ribbon of matter spiraling into the dark. There is no sound here, no cry of protest against the inevitable. Only silence, punctuated by the slow cosmic rhythm of forces beyond our ken. And yet, even as you are stretched thin, there is a strange intimacy in this unraveling. It is as if the black hole, in its merciless grip, is peeling back the layers of what you thought you were, revealing something raw, something elemental. Is this destruction, or is it revelation? Does the fragmentation of form, of body, of thought, strip us down to some essential truth? Or does it merely scatter us into the void, lost forever to the darkness? As we drift in this imagined space, caught in the tidal pull of the unknown, let us not shy away from the discomfort of this idea. Spaghettification, in its grim poetry, challenges us to confront the fragility of our constructs, both physical and intellectual. It whispers of a universe that does not bend to our will, a reality that reshapes us in ways we cannot predict. And perhaps, in that reshaping, there lies a quiet invitation to let go of the need for wholeness, to embrace the pieces of ourselves that emerge when we are pulled apart. Take a moment to reflect on this. What parts of you have been stretched, thin by the gravity of life's mysteries, and what new forms might yet emerge from that tension? So we remain here, suspended in the silent pull of forces beyond imagination, contemplating the strange dance between destruction and transformation. The black hole does not ask for permission. It simply acts, drawing us into its depths, stretching us into shapes we could not have foreseen. And in that act, it poses a question that lingers long after the thought of spaghettification fades. When we are torn apart by the unknown, do we lose ourselves, or do we find something greater hidden? Within the fragments, imagine a universe that seems to guard its deepest secrets with an unbreakable silence, a place where even the essence of what once was might vanish forever, or so we believed. What if the very fabric of existence, the memories of stars and the whispers of ancient light, were not lost to the void, but held in a kind of cosmic riddle? This is the enigma of the information paradox, a puzzle born from the heart of black holes, where the nature of reality itself seems to teeter on the edge of comprehension. Let's wander into this mystery together, with a quiet curiosity, as we ponder what it means for something to truly disappear. Consider for a moment the nature of a black hole, that unfathomable abyss where gravity reigns supreme, pulling in everything: light, matter, and perhaps even the very information that defines them. For decades, scientists believed that once something crossed the event horizon, the boundary of no return, it was erased from the universe. Its story ended, its identity dissolved into nothingness. Imagine a book, its pages filled with tales of distant worlds, being consumed by an endless dark, never to be read again. This idea felt almost visceral, a kind of cosmic finality that mirrored our own fears of being forgotten, of leaving no trace behind. But then came a revelation, a whisper of doubt against this bleak certainty, brought forth by the mind of Stephen Hawking. What if, he proposed, information was not destroyed, but somehow radiated away, escaping the black hole's grasp in subtle, almost ghostly emissions? This notion, now known as the information paradox, challenges the very laws of physics as we understand them. On one hand, quantum mechanics insists that information, every particle, every quantum state, must be preserved, a fundamental truth of the universe's design. On the other, the classical view of black holes suggests that anything swallowed by their depths is lost forever, beyond retrieval or reconstruction. Picture two ancient scribes, one swearing that every word ever written must endure, the other claiming that some stories are meant to burn. Who do we believe? And what does this tension reveal about the nature of permanence itself? Could it be that the universe, in its vast and enigmatic wisdom, holds a ledger of all that has been, even when we cannot see it? Take a moment to reflect on this. What do you hold most dear, those fragments of memory or moments that define who you are? Now imagine them slipping into an unseen void, only to persist in a form beyond your grasp, encoded in a language you cannot yet read. Does this comfort you, or does it deepen the mystery of what it means to exist? As we linger on this paradox, let's consider the implications of Hawking's insight. If information does escape through what we now call Hawking radiation, a slow, imperceptible leak of particles from the black hole's edge, then perhaps nothing is truly lost. Imagine a star, long since collapsed into the dark, its light and heat long faded, yet its essence trickling back into the cosmos, piece by infinitesimal piece. There's a quiet poetry in this idea, a suggestion that even in the face of overwhelming destruction, something endures, something persists. But how? In what form does this information return? And could we ever hope to decipher it? Or is it transformed into something so alien, so beyond our current understanding, that it might as well be lost to us forever? This brings us to a deeper, almost existential question. If the universe preserves information in ways we cannot yet fathom, might the same be true for our own lives? Every thought, every fleeting emotion, every choice we've made, could these be etched somewhere in the fabric of reality, waiting to be rediscovered in a distant age or a hidden dimension? Picture your own life as a constellation of data, scattered across the cosmos, held in the silent memory of a black hole's edge. Does this notion bring solace, the idea that nothing is ever truly gone? Or does it unsettle you, suggesting that even our most private moments are never fully ours to keep? Let's pause here for a breath, allowing this thought to settle like dust in a quiet room. Take a moment to reflect on what it means to leave a mark, to be remembered, or to fade into the unknown. Are you content with the possibility that your story might persist in a form beyond understanding? Or do you long for a more tangible legacy? As we drift further into this mystery, we must acknowledge that the information paradox remains unresolved, a question mark etched into the heart of modern physics. Some theories suggest that information is indeed preserved, perhaps encoded on the event horizon itself, like a cosmic hologram, waiting to be unraveled. Others propose that it escapes through mechanisms we have yet to discover, hidden in the interplay of quantum fields and unseen dimensions. But beneath these scientific debates lies a more profound inquiry, one that touches the core of our being. If the universe does not forget, if even the smallest fragment of existence is safeguarded against oblivion, then what does this say about the nature of endings? Are they merely illusions, temporary veils over a reality that refuses to let go? In the quiet of this moment, let's imagine ourselves standing at the edge of this paradox, gazing into the void, not with fear, but with wonder. Perhaps the black hole, in its silent enigma, is teaching us something about resilience, about the stubborn endurance of what once was. Perhaps it whispers that even in the darkest of places, in the most unfathomable depths, there is a kind of hope, a promise that nothing is ever truly lost, only transformed, waiting patiently to be understood. As we linger here, carried by the gentle tide of thought, let this mystery wrap around you like a soft, endless night, inviting you to dream of a universe that remembers everything, even when we cannot. Imagine, for a moment, a force so powerful, so unyielding, that it binds even the most indomitable structures of the cosmos, yet whispers its own demise in the quietest of ways. There is a phenomenon at the edge of a black hole, a subtle rebellion against the void itself, where the inescapable begins to unravel. This is the story of Hawking radiation, a faint murmur escaping from the depths of darkness, a reminder that even the mightiest of cosmic giants are not eternal. Let us linger here, in this mysterious dance of creation and decay, and ponder what it reveals about the nature of permanence in a universe that seems to hold nothing forever. Picture the black hole, that enigmatic abyss where light itself is swallowed, where the laws of reality bend and break. It stands as a monument to gravity's unrelenting power, a place where nothing, not a star, not a whisper of energy, can hope to escape. Yet, in the 1970s, a brilliant mind, Stephen Hawking, proposed something astonishing. He suggested that black holes are not the perfect prisons we imagined. Through the strange and wondrous mechanics of quantum physics, tiny particles flicker into existence near the event horizon, the boundary of no return. Some of these particles, born in pairs, are torn apart by the black hole's grip. One falls into the void, while the other slips away into the universe. This escaping particle, this whisper of energy, is what we call Hawking radiation. It is as if the black hole, in its insatiable hunger, cannot help but leak a fragment of itself back into the cosmos. But what does this mean? Consider the implications of this quiet evaporation. A black hole, formed from the cataclysmic death of a massive star, holds within it the weight of entire worlds compressed into a singularity, a point of infinite density. It seems invincible, eternal, a scar on the fabric of space-time that will outlast even the stars. Yet, through Hawking radiation, it slowly, imperceptibly loses mass. Over eons, time spans so vast they dwarf the history of our own planet. The black hole shrinks, particle by particle, until it is no more. What was once a cosmic titan dissolves into nothingness, its energy scattered across the universe in a final, silent sigh. Take a moment to reflect on this. The idea that even the most formidable forces, the ones that seem to defy time itself, are subject to decay. Does this not stir a sense of awe, and perhaps a quiet unease, about the impermanence woven into the very fabric of existence? Let us deepen this thought. In our own lives, we often encounter forces or structures that appear unshakable. Beliefs, institutions, even personal struggles that loom over us like dark, unyielding voids. They seem to swallow our light, our hope, drawing everything into their depths. Yet could there be a parallel here with Hawking radiation? Might there be subtle ways in which even these towering giants erode over time, through small acts of resistance, through quiet persistence, through the mere passage of moments? Imagine a burden you carry, one that feels as heavy as a collapsing star. Now imagine that, bit by bit, it begins to fade, not through a dramatic clash, but through the gentle, almost invisible release of its weight. Is there not a strange comfort in knowing that nothing, not even a black hole, holds its power forever? There is a poetic irony in this process too. Hawking radiation arises from the very edge of the event horizon, that invisible line where the black hole's grip is absolute. It is a boundary of paradox, a place where the rules of physics tremble. The escaping particles are born from the tension between what is and what cannot be, between the known and the unknowable. Does this not mirror the edges of our own understanding, those places where we stand at the brink of mystery? Perhaps, in our quest for meaning, we too release tiny fragments of insight, small bursts of light that escape the darkness of our doubts. These whispers may seem insignificant against the vastness of what we do not know, but over time, they accumulate, reshaping the landscape of our minds. As we dwell on this slow evaporation, let us also consider the scale of time involved. The lifespan of a black hole's decay is beyond human comprehension. Trillions upon trillions of years for even a modestly sized one. By the time a black hole vanishes, The universe itself may have grown cold and dim, its stars long extinguished. This raises a profound question. What is the purpose of such a drawn-out ending? Is there meaning in a process so gradual that no observer could ever witness its conclusion? Or does this very slowness speak to a deeper truth about the universe? A patience, a quiet inevitability that transcends our need for immediacy. Take a moment to reflect on this. The idea of a cosmos that operates on a rhythm so alien to our own, yet governs the fate of all things. In the end, Hawking radiation is more than a scientific curiosity. It is a meditation on the nature of endings. It tells us that even the void, the ultimate symbol of absence, is not immune to change. It whispers of a universe where nothing is truly lost, where energy transforms and escapes, finding new forms in the boundless expanse. As we lie in the stillness of night, gazing inward or toward the unseen stars, let us hold this thought close, that even in the darkest of places, there is a flicker of release, a quiet promise that all things, no matter how vast or heavy, will one day dissolve into the greater whole. What might this mean for the burdens we carry, for the voids we fear within ourselves? Perhaps like the black hole, they too are slowly, imperceptibly letting go. Imagine a doorway carved into the fabric of the cosmos, a passage so profound that it beckons us to question the very nature of existence. What if a black hole, that enigmatic void we've come to fear and revere, is not merely an end, but a beginning, a gateway to realms beyond our wildest dreams? Picture yourself standing at the edge of the event horizon, the boundary where reality as we know it dissolves into mystery. Beyond this threshold, some daring minds have whispered, might lie other universes, other dimensions, entire tapestries of existence woven from threads we cannot yet perceive. Let that thought linger for a moment, as the quiet of the night wraps around you and the infinite stretches out before us. Consider the possibility that what we see as a cosmic abyss could be a portal, a bridge spanning the unimaginable. Scientists and dreamers alike have pondered this idea, theorizing that within the crushing depths of a black hole, space and time might fold in on themselves, creating a passage to somewhere or something else. It's a notion that defies our understanding, yet it stirs a primal curiosity within us. What would lie on the other side? A mirror of our own reality, perhaps, twisted and refracted through the lens of the unknown, or a place so alien that our minds could not grasp its form, where the laws of physics are rewritten and the very concept of self unravels like a thread pulled from a seam. Take a moment to reflect on this. What would you hope to find if you could step through such a gate, and what might you fear to lose in the crossing? This idea of black holes as cosmic gateways challenges the boundaries of what we believe is possible. It suggests that our universe, vast as it seems, might be but a single room in an endless mansion of realities. Think of the ancient myths and stories that have haunted humanity for millennia. Tales of portals to other worlds, of hidden realms accessible only to the bold or the damned. Are these stories mere echoes of a truth we are only now beginning to glimpse through the lens of science? The event horizon, that invisible line of no return, becomes not just a barrier, but a threshold. To cross it would be to abandon everything we know, to surrender to a journey with no promise of return. Yet, isn't there a strange allure in that uncertainty? A whisper that calls us to leap into the dark and see what lies beyond. Let's wander deeper into this thought. Imagine that within every black hole, a new universe is born, a child of the collapse and chaos that precedes it. Some theories propose that the singularity at a black hole's heart could be the seed of another reality, a point where the rules of existence are reset. If this were true, then every black hole we observe in the night sky might be a doorway to a place as vast and complex as our own cosmos. What does this mean for us, tiny specks of consciousness gazing up at the stars? Does it diminish our significance, or does it weave us into a larger story, one where every end is merely the prelude to a new creation? Let that idea settle over you like a quiet fog, obscuring the familiar and inviting you to dream of what might be. There's a poetry in this notion of cosmic gateways, a reminder that even in the most destructive forces of nature, there may lie the potential for transcendence. A black hole devours stars, light, and time itself, yet within its darkness, it might harbor the possibility of infinite elsewheres. Think of the moments in your own life when destruction seemed absolute, when loss or change felt like an unbridgeable void. Could there be, even in those moments, the seed of something new, a hidden passage to a reality you couldn't yet see? The black hole, in its silent mystery, asks us to consider whether endings are ever truly final, or if they are simply doors we have not yet learned to open. As we linger at this imagined threshold, let us not shy away from the weight of the unknown. The idea of black holes as portals forces us to confront the fragility of our reality, the possibility that what we call everything is merely one thread in an infinite weave. What if, by peering into these cosmic abysses, we are not just studying the universe, but glimpsing the outlines of a multiverse, a vast interconnected web where every choice, every moment, spins out into countless other worlds? Take a moment to reflect on this. Feel the quiet pull of that thought, as if gravity itself were drawing your mind toward the edge of understanding. And so, we stand here, at the brink of the event horizon, neither crossing nor retreating, simply marveling at the mystery. The black hole as a gateway is not a promise nor a certainty, but a question, a challenge to our notions of what is real, what is possible. It whispers to us in the stillness, asking if we dare to imagine a universe not as a solitary expanse, but as a crossroads, a place of endless comings and goings. Let that whisper linger as the night deepens, carrying you into dreams of unseen worlds, of passages yet untraveled, and of realities waiting just beyond the veil of the unknown. Imagine a hidden pathway through the vastness of the cosmos, a secret tunnel that defies the very fabric of distance and time. A wormhole, a theoretical bridge woven into the structure of space-time, beckons with the promise of connecting distant corners of the universe, or perhaps even entirely different realities. What if such a passage exists, folded into the unseen layers of existence, waiting to be discovered? What would it mean to step through such a cosmic shortcut, to bend the rules of separation and arrive at a place beyond our wildest dreams? Picture the universe as an immense crumpled sheet of paper, its surface dotted with stars and galaxies, stretched thin by the weight of infinity. Now, imagine folding that sheet, bringing two far-flung points together until they touch. A wormhole is that fold, a tunnel piercing through the dimensions, ignoring the endless expanse that lies between. It's not just a journey of space, but a defiance of the very laws that govern our reality. To traverse such a passage would be to slip through the cracks of the universe itself, to glimpse a hidden architecture that binds all things together. Could it be that the cosmos, in its infinite complexity, hides such shortcuts not just for matter, but for meaning, connections we have yet to perceive in the tangled web of our own lives? The idea of wormholes emerges from the same enigmatic equations that describe black holes, born of Einstein's theory of relativity. These tunnels, sometimes called Einstein-Rosen bridges, were first imagined as theoretical curiosities, mathematical quirks in the fabric of space-time. Visualize two black holes, their event horizons linked by an unseen conduit, a throat of warped reality stretching between them. Or perhaps a wormhole connects a black hole to a white hole, a hypothetical opposite that spews matter and light rather than devouring it. Such a passage might not just span distance but time itself, looping backward or forward in ways that shatter our linear understanding of existence. What would it feel like to step into such a tunnel? To feel the weight of time and space bending around you, reshaping the very notion of where and when you are? Yet the mystery deepens when we consider the fragility of these cosmic bridges. Wormholes, if they exist, are thought to be unstable, collapsing under their own paradoxical nature unless held open by an exotic form of matter, something with negative energy, a substance that defies the rules of physics as we know them. Imagine a tunnel of light and shadow, flickering at the edge of possibility, threatening to snap shut the moment you dare to cross. Does this instability mirror the fleeting connections in our own existence, the bridges we build to others or to moments, in time, only to watch them tremble under the weight of reality? Take a moment to reflect on this. Have you ever felt a connection so profound, yet so fragile, that it seemed to exist only for an instant before slipping away? Beyond their scientific allure, wormholes whisper to something deeper within us. The longing to transcend boundaries, to reach beyond the limits of what we know. They are not merely tunnels through space, but symbols of possibility, of hidden links between the seemingly unconnected. Consider the invisible threads that tie your life to others, to places, to memories. Are there wormholes in your own story? Shortcuts through the vast distances of emotion or experience that suddenly bring distant moments into sharp, vivid focus? What if the universe itself is laced with such hidden passages, not just in the physical realm, but in the realm of thought, of spirit, of meaning? And what of the ultimate question? Where might a wormhole lead? Some theorists speculate they could connect to parallel universes, realms where the laws of nature differ, where history unfolded in alien ways. Imagine emerging on the other side to find a cosmos painted in unfamiliar colors, governed by rules your mind cannot grasp, or perhaps a wormhole circles back to our own reality, depositing you in a distant corner of the galaxy, millions of light years from where you began. To cross such a threshold would be to redefine what it means to be human, to confront the infinite multiplicity of existence. Yet, in this act of crossing, might we also discover that the greatest distances are not between stars, but within ourselves? As you ponder the enigma of wormholes, let your mind drift along their hypothetical curves, through the folded layers of space and time. Feel the quiet pull of the unknown, the allure of a journey that defies all sense of boundary. What hidden connections lie waiting in your own life? Tunnels of insight or understanding that could bridge the vastness of your inner world. And if such bridges truly exist in the cosmos, might they teach us that no distance, whether of space, time, or heart, is ever truly insurmountable? Let this thought linger like a faint echo in the void as you rest in the stillness of this moment. Imagine for a moment that everything you see, touch, and feel is not as it seems. What if the vast three-dimensional world around you, filled with depth, color, and substance, is merely a shadow, a fleeting illusion cast upon an unseen surface? This is not the stuff of dreams or idle fantasy, but a profound idea that has emerged from the study of black holes, known as the Holographic Principle. It whispers to us in the quiet of night, a notion so strange, so unsettling, that it forces us to question the very nature of reality itself. What if we are not living in a universe of solid forms, but in a projection, a cosmic mirage encoded on a boundary we cannot perceive? Let's linger on this thought as we drift into the depths of this idea. The Holographic Principle suggests that all the information, all the complexity of our universe might be stored on a two-dimensional surface, a kind of cosmic canvas at the edge of reality. Think of it as a hologram you might have seen as a child, a flat image that, when tilted just right, reveals a startling illusion of depth. But in this case, we are the illusion. Every star in the sky, every breath you take, every memory that flickers through your mind could be nothing more than data compressed and projected from a boundary we cannot cross. Black holes, those enigmatic voids that swallow light and time, seem to be the key to this mystery. Their event horizons, the points of no return, might act as the surfaces where this information is inscribed, preserving the essence of everything that falls into their grasp. Now consider the implications of such a reality. If our world is a hologram, what does that say about substance? About the weight of a stone in your hand, or the warmth of a loved one's touch? Are these sensations merely tricks of perception, encoded messages we interpret as real? And if so, who or what is the encoder? Is there a mind, a force, a design behind this projection? Or are we the product of some impersonal cosmic algorithm unfolding without intent or purpose? These questions hang in the air like a distant fog, obscuring as much as they reveal. They invite us to reconsider not just the universe, but our place within it. Are we truly beings of depth and dimension? Or are we shadows dancing on a flat plane, unaware of the true shape of our existence? Take a moment to reflect on this. Close your eyes, if you wish, and let the idea settle into your thoughts. Imagine yourself as part of this hologram, a fragment of a larger design. Does it diminish you, or does it connect you to something greater, a tapestry of information that binds everything together? As we ponder this, let's turn to the black holes themselves, the silent architects of this theory. Their event horizons are not just boundaries of escape, but perhaps the edges of our reality, the places where the illusion is most apparent. Physicists have long grappled with the paradoxes black holes present, and the holographic principle emerged as a way to resolve some of these enigmas. It suggests that the interior of a black hole, that unfathomable abyss, might not even exist as we imagine it. Instead, all that falls into it could be encoded on its surface, a perfect record of everything lost to the void. Imagine that. A whole world, a whole history, compressed into a shimmering layer, invisible to us yet containing all that ever was. It's as if the black hole whispers to us, nothing is lost, only transformed. But transformed into what? A memory, a code, a shadow of what once was. This idea stretches the boundaries of our understanding, much like the universe itself seems to stretch and bend under the weight of these cosmic giants. If reality is a hologram, then depth and distance might be illusions we've constructed to make sense of our existence. Think of a dream you've had, one so vivid that you swore it was real until the moment you awoke. In that dream, you walked through landscapes, felt the wind on your skin, believed in the solidity of the ground beneath your feet. Yet it was all a projection of your mind, a story told in the theatre of sleep. Could our waking life be something similar, a story told on a grander scale, played out on a surface we cannot see? There's a quiet unease in this thought, isn't there? A subtle tremor that runs beneath the surface of our certainty. If we are projections, then what is real? Is there a deeper truth beyond the hologram, a reality untainted by illusion? Or are we forever bound to this encoded existence? And perhaps more hauntingly, does it even matter? If our joys, our sorrows, our very being are part of this projection, do they lose their meaning? Or do they gain a kind of poetic beauty, a fleeting dance of light and shadow on the edge of the unknown? Take another moment to reflect on this. Let your mind wander to the edge of this idea, to the boundary where questions outnumber answers. Feel the weight of the unknown and let it sit with you, not as a burden, but as a quiet companion in the stillness. As we drift through these thoughts, let's consider one final layer of this mystery. If the holographic principle is true, then black holes are not just destroyers, not just voids that consume. They are also guardians of reality, keepers of the code that defines us. They stand at the intersection of what is and what might be, challenging us to look beyond the illusion of depth and see the universe as it truly is, or as it might truly be. In their silent, unfathomable presence, they ask us to redefine being itself. To be a part of a hologram is not to be diminished, but to be part of a greater mystery, a cosmic story written in ways we may never fully understand. And so we linger, here, on the edge of this idea, gazing into a reality that might be nothing more than a projection, a whisper of something deeper. What does it mean to exist in such a universe? What does it mean to be a fragment of a hologram, a shadow cast by an unseen light? These are questions without easy answers, questions that invite us to sit with the unknown, to embrace the mystery as we would a quiet night. Let them linger in your mind, like the faint glow of a distant star, guiding you into deeper reflection as the world fades into stillness. Imagine for a moment that time, that ever-constant stream we navigate through each day, suddenly falters, its steady flow disrupted by an unseen force. Picture yourself standing at the edge of something so vast, so incomprehensible, that the very notion of past, present, and future begins to blur. What if, in the presence of a black hole, time's unyielding arrow, the direction we've always trusted, bends, twists, or even loops back upon itself? Could such a place hold the secret to unraveling time's relentless march? Or does it merely trap it in an eternal, unknowable dance? Let's linger on this thought as we drift closer to the enigma at the heart of a black hole, where the rules of reality as we know them seem to dissolve. Time, as we experience it, flows in one direction, from the cradle of our birth to the quiet of our last breath. It shapes our memories, our regrets, our longing for what's to come. But near a black hole, this arrow of time grows uncertain, warped by the immense gravity that distorts everything in its grasp. For someone far from its pull, time ticks on as always. Yet for anything, or anyone, nearing the event horizon, that invisible boundary of no return, time slows to a crawl, stretching moments into what feels like eternity. What does this mean for the nature of existence itself? Could there be a realm where time ceases to move forward, where cause and effect lose their meaning, and every instant is caught in a suspended, endless now? Consider the possibility that black holes might not just distort time, but challenge its very essence. Some theories whisper of a reversal, a place where the arrow of time might point backward, where endings become beginnings and the past unfolds anew. Others suggest a loop, an eternal recurrence, where events replay in an unbreakable cycle. Imagine living a life where every choice, every heartbreak, every fleeting joy is destined to repeat, not as memory, but as reality. Does this thought bring comfort, the idea of second chances woven into the fabric of the cosmos? Or does it weigh heavy with the burden of inevitability, a prison of repetition from which there is no escape? Take a moment to reflect on this. How would the reversal or looping of time reshape the way you see your own journey? Let's delve deeper into the mystery, drawing from the quiet musings of physicists who ponder whether black holes could be gateways to understanding time's true nature. In our everyday lives, time is a river, carrying us forward with no chance to swim against the current. We mark its passage with clocks and calendars, tethering our existence to its rhythm. But what if, in the heart of a black hole, time is not a river, but a vast, still ocean, directionless, boundless, unknowable? If we could peer into such a place, might we glimpse a liberation from time's constraints, a freedom from the weight of aging, of loss, of the inevitable end? Or would we find only chaos, a reality so alien that our minds could never grasp it? Now, let's turn this inward, to the way time shapes our innermost selves. We live bound by its forward march, haunted by the ticking of moments we cannot reclaim. Every decision carves a path, every second spent is a second gone. Yet, near a black hole, where time falters, might there be a mirror to our own yearning for pause, for reversal, for a chance to rewrite what has been written? Think of the regrets that linger in the quiet of night. Could a place where time bends offer a kind of absolution, or would it merely deepen the ache of what cannot be changed? Take a moment to reflect on this. How does time's relentless pace shape the way you carry your past, and what would it mean to step outside its flow, even for an instant? As we hover near this cosmic enigma, let's not shy away from the uncertainty it evokes. Black holes, with their power to distort and perhaps even trap time, remind us of how little we truly understand about the fabric of existence. They stand as silent sentinels, guarding secrets that may never yield to our probing minds. Yet in their mystery, there is an invitation to question, to wonder, to imagine a reality where time is not our master, but merely a thread in a tapestry far greater than we can fathom. Could such a place offer a glimpse of liberation, a way to see beyond the confines of our fleeting lives? Or does it simply deepen the mystery, leaving us to ponder whether time, like the black hole itself, is an abyss we can never fully escape? Let this thought linger as we drift in the quiet, contemplating the arrow of time and the cosmic forces that might bend it. What does it mean to live in a universe where even time, the most constant of companions, can falter? And as you rest in this moment, consider how the distortion of time near a black hole might echo the distortions within us. The longing to pause, to rewind, to find meaning in the endless march of hours. Let the mystery of this cosmic void settle over you like a gentle shadow, inviting you to dream of a reality where time's grip might, just for a moment, loosen its hold. Imagine a universe that guards its deepest truths with an impenetrable veil, a cosmic curtain drawn tight to shield us from mysteries too profound to grasp. What if nature itself conspires to hide its most unfathomable secrets, not out of malice, but perhaps out of a strange, silent mercy? This is the essence of the cosmic censorship hypothesis, a concept that whispers of boundaries both in the vastness of space and within the quiet recesses of our own souls. Let's linger here, in the gentle shadow of this idea, and ponder what it means for a reality to conceal its core, to wrap its most naked truths in an unyielding darkness. At the heart of this hypothesis lies a simple yet staggering proposition. The singularities at the center of black holes, those points of infinite density where the laws of physics crumble, are always cloaked behind an event horizon. This horizon, an invisible boundary beyond which nothing, not even light, can escape, acts as a shield, a barrier that prevents us from witnessing the raw chaos of a singularity. It's as if the universe, in all its boundless complexity, has decided that some truths are too bare, too disruptive to be laid before our curious eyes. Think of it as a cosmic act of discretion, a refusal to let us gaze upon something that might unravel not just our understanding of reality, but perhaps our very sense of order and safety. Could it be that the universe, in its silent wisdom, knows we are not yet ready, or maybe never will be, to face such a revelation? But why this censorship? Why this veil drawn across the deepest wounds of space-time? Some physicists argue it's a matter of preserving the predictability of the cosmos, a naked singularity, exposed without the protective shroud of an event horizon, could wreak havoc on our ability to make sense of cause and effect. Its influence might ripple outward in ways that defy logic, turning the orderly dance of stars and galaxies into a cacophony of uncertainty. Imagine a tear in the fabric of reality, a glitch in the grand design, where time and space twist into shapes we cannot name. Such a sight might not just challenge our science, it might challenge our sanity. And so, the cosmic censorship hypothesis suggests that nature intervenes, ensuring that these singularities remain hidden, locked away behind a barrier we cannot cross. Does this act of concealment comfort you, or does it stir a restless curiosity, a longing to peek behind the curtain no matter the cost? Take a moment to reflect on this. What might lie beyond that veil, and why does its hiddenness feel so personal, so intimate? Is it merely a cosmic phenomenon, or does it echo something deeper within us? A tendency to shield our own singularities, those raw and untamed parts of ourselves we dare not expose. We, too, draw event horizons around our innermost thoughts, our unspoken fears, our most profound vulnerabilities. We cloak them in silence or in carefully crafted facades, fearing that to reveal them would invite chaos, judgment, or a loss of control. Perhaps the universe's censorship is not so different from our own. Perhaps it too harbors a quiet fear of being fully seen, of having its deepest essence laid bare. Consider for a moment the paradox woven into this idea. The event horizon, while a barrier, is also a threshold, a place where the known meets the utterly unknowable. It's a line that both protects and tantalizes, a reminder that some mysteries are meant to remain just out of reach. And isn't there a strange beauty in that? In a world where we strive to uncover every secret, to map every corner of existence, there is something humbling, even sacred, about a boundary we cannot cross. It reminds us that we are not the masters of all things, that there are forces and truths larger than our comprehension, larger even than our desire to know. Like a locked room in an ancient house, the event horizon whispers of stories untold, of knowledge withheld, and in doing so, it preserves a sense of wonder, a space for imagination to roam in the quiet of night. Yet, there is another layer too, this cosmic veil, one that tugs at the edges of our existential musings. If the universe hides its singularities, what else might it conceal from us? Are there other truths, other dimensions, other realities tucked away behind barriers we cannot perceive? The cosmic censorship hypothesis invites us to question not just the nature of black holes, but the nature of reality itself. It suggests that what we see, what we know, is only a fragment of the whole, a carefully curated glimpse of a much vaster, stranger tapestry. And in that suggestion lies a quiet invitation to accept the limits of our vision, to find peace in the unknown, to let the mysteries of the cosmos mirror the mysteries we carry within. As we dwell on this idea, let the weight of it settle over you like a soft, dark blanket. Picture the event horizon not as a wall, but as a gentle hand, guiding us away from a truth we are not meant to bear. Feel the pull of that hidden singularity, the allure of a secret kept just beyond your grasp, and ask yourself, is it enough to stand at the edge, to wonder without knowing, to marvel without seeing? Or does the veil itself ignite a deeper yearning, a quiet ache to uncover what lies beneath, no matter the risk? Take a moment to reflect on this. Let your thoughts drift like stardust, carried on the silent currents of a universe that guards its heart with an eternal, unbreakable silence. What if the darkest corners of the universe held the memory of everything that ever was? Imagine a place so unfathomable, so hidden in the fabric of reality, that it could serve as a cosmic archive, a repository of every moment, every whisper, every fleeting thought that has ever crossed the expanse of time. We often think of black holes as devourers, as voids that erase all trace of what they consume. But what if, instead, they are the keepers of the universe's past, silent guardians of a history we can scarcely comprehend? Picture a black hole, suspended in the infinite dark, its event horizon a shimmering boundary between what we know and what we can never grasp. Beyond that edge, where light itself surrenders, lies a mystery that challenges the very notion of a loss. For decades, scientists believed that anything swallowed by a black hole was gone forever. Information, matter, the essence of existence itself, obliterated in the crushing grip of the singularity. Yet, a profound shift in thought, sparked by the mind of Stephen Hawking and others, suggests something far more haunting. Information may not be destroyed, it may be preserved, encoded in ways we cannot yet fathom, waiting to be read like an ancient manuscript buried in the depths of time. Consider the implications of this. Every star that has burned out, every planet that has crumbled, every civilization that has risen and fallen across the cosmos, could their stories be etched into the heart of these enigmatic voids? A black hole, then, becomes more than a destroyer. It transforms into a library, vast and impenetrable, holding volumes of reality's past. Imagine the weight of such a collection. Not just the physical mass of collapsed stars, but the weight of memory itself, compressed into a point of infinite density. What tales might it tell if we could only learn its language? What forgotten truths might surface from its silent depths? Take a moment to reflect on this. What would it mean to you if every thought you've ever had, every choice you've ever made, was not lost to time, but stored somewhere in the universe's grand archive? Does the idea bring comfort, knowing that nothing is truly erased? Or does it stir a quiet unease, as if your essence is held in a place beyond your reach? Let's linger on this notion of memory. In our own lives, we cling to fragments of the past, photographs, letters, the fading echo of a loved one's voice. We build monuments to remember, to preserve what time threatens to steal. But what if the universe itself is doing the same, on a scale so immense that our individual stories are but whispers in a chorus of billions? A black hole in this light is not a grave, but a vault, sealing away the raw data of existence. Perhaps it waits for a future beyond our imagining, a time when some unknowable intelligence might unlock its secrets and read the history of all that has been. Yet, there is a quiet mystery in this preservation. Even if information endures within a black hole, it is veiled from us, locked behind the event horizon's unyielding barrier. It mirrors the way our own memories work, some moments vivid and sharp, others buried so deep we cannot access them, though we feel their weight in our bones. Could it be that black holes are not just cosmic phenomena, but reflections of our own inner landscapes, where the past is both eternal and unreachable? As we ponder this, let's imagine standing at the edge of such a vault, gazing into the void that holds the universe's memory. What would you ask of it? Would you seek the story of your own lineage, traced back to the first spark of life on Earth? Or would you search for something greater, the origin of the cosmos itself, the first breath of creation? The answers, if they exist, are silent for now, nestled in a darkness that defies our understanding. But the mere possibility of their presence shifts something within us. It suggests that nothing is truly lost, that every fleeting moment leaves an imprint somewhere in the endless expanse. Take a moment to let this settle. Feel the quiet weight of knowing that your existence, however small it may seem against the vastness of the universe, might be recorded in a place beyond time. Does it change how you see yourself, how you move through the world, knowing that somewhere in the heart of a black hole, your story might endure? And so, we are left with a profound question. If black holes are indeed the memory banks of the universe, what does that mean for our sense of purpose? Are we merely fleeting data points in an infinite archive? Or does the act of being remembered, even by something as alien as a cosmic void, imbue our lives with a kind of quiet eternity? As the night deepens around you, let this thought linger, like a star's faint glow on the edge of perception. Perhaps in the silent heart of the abyss, there is a kind of immortality, not of the body, but of the essence of who we are. Imagine a barrier so fierce, so unrelenting, that it stands as a blazing wall of fire at the very edge of oblivion. A boundary, not of stone or steel, but of raw, untamed energy. A firewall surrounding the event horizon of a black hole, poised to incinerate anything daring enough to cross into its domain. This is not a mere fantasy of science fiction, but a haunting theory born from the depths of quantum mechanics and relativity, a paradox that challenges our understanding of the universe's most enigmatic voids. What could such a wall of destruction possibly guard? Is it a sentinel of truths too perilous for us to grasp? Or does it mirror the invisible barriers we encounter in our own relentless pursuit of answers? Picture yourself hovering just beyond this fiery threshold, the event horizon of a black hole shimmering before you like a dark, endless mirror. Beyond it lies a realm where the laws of reality crumble, where time and space fold into impossible shapes. But at this very edge, the firewall looms, a theoretical inferno of energy so intense that it would reduce anything, even the smallest particle, to ash before it could pass through. This is not a gentle warning or a passive boundary. It is a violent, searing rejection of entry. Physicists have wrestled with this concept, torn between the serene elegance of general relativity, which predicts a smooth descent into the black hole, and the chaotic fury of quantum mechanics, which suggests that such a catastrophic barrier must exist to preserve the fundamental rules of information and entropy. What does this contradiction reveal about the universe? Is nature itself at odds, unable to reconcile its own truths? Or are we simply staring into a mystery that our minds are not yet equipped to unravel? Let's linger on this image for a moment. The roaring firewall, a blazing shield against the unknown. If it exists, it might be more than a physical phenomenon. It could be a symbol of the limits of human inquiry. Think of the countless times, In history, when we've approached the edge of understanding, only to be met with a wall of fire, be it the mysteries of the atom, the enigma of consciousness, or the vastness of the cosmos itself, each time we've burned ourselves on the intensity of the unknown, forced to retreat and rethink, to build new tools and new languages for thought. Could this cosmic firewall be nature's way of telling us that some truths come at too great a cost? Or is it a challenge, daring us to find a way through, to endure the flames for the sake of revelation? Take a moment to reflect on this. What boundaries in your own life have burned you when you've dared to push too far? And what might lie on the other side if only you could withstand the heat? Now, let's drift deeper into the paradox itself. The idea of the firewall emerged from a profound tension in physics, a clash between the principle that information is never truly lost and the eerie reality of a black hole's event horizon. If nothing can escape beyond that boundary, not even light, then what happens to the stories, the histories, the very essence of everything it consumes? Quantum theory insists that information must be preserved, etched somewhere in the fabric of reality. Yet, if crossing the event horizon means annihilation by a firewall, then perhaps that preservation demands destruction first, a fiery purge to ensure that no contradiction disrupts the universe's delicate balance. Imagine that for a moment. A universe so meticulously ordered that it would rather burn its own secrets than allow them to be glimpsed by unworthy eyes. Does this not echo the way we guard our own inner truths, building walls of silence or anger to protect what we fear to reveal? As we hover near this theoretical blaze, let's consider its deeper resonance. The firewall might not just be a guardian of cosmic secrets, it could be a reflection of the human condition itself. How often do we approach the edge of profound change, the threshold of a new understanding or a transformative choice, only to be met with a searing resistance, fear, doubt, or pain that threatens to consume us if we dare to cross? Perhaps the firewall is not merely a barrier, but a test, a crucible through which we must pass to emerge reshaped, refined by the flames of challenge. In the quiet of this moment, let the image of that burning wall linger in your mind. What truths are you seeking that seem guarded by such ferocity? And are you willing to face the heat to uncover them? And so, we remain here, suspended at the edge of this cosmic conundrum, the firewall's glow casting long shadows across our thoughts. Whether it exists in the physical realm or only in the intricate dance of theory, its presence haunts us, a reminder of the universe's reluctance to yield its deepest mysteries. It asks us to question not just the nature of black holes, but the nature of boundaries themselves, those fiery limits that stand between us and the infinite. As you drift with these thoughts, let the paradox settle into your mind like a quiet ember glowing softly in the darkness. What walls of fire stand before you, and what might you discover if you found the courage to step through? Imagine for a moment a darkness so profound that it becomes a mirror, reflecting not just the unknown of the cosmos, but the deepest recesses of our own minds. We speak of black holes, those enigmatic voids at the edge of reality, but beyond the equations and theories, there lies something more, a canvas onto which humanity paints its wildest dreams and darkest fears. In the quiet of night, when the world falls silent, why do these cosmic abysses call to us, whispering of mysteries we cannot fully grasp, yet cannot turn away from? Consider how black holes have woven themselves into the tapestry of our cultural imagination, becoming more than mere astronomical phenomena. They are symbols, archetypes of the forbidden and the infinite, lurking in the stories we tell and the philosophies we ponder. In science fiction, they are often portals to other worlds or harbingers of doom, places where heroes are tested and realities are shattered. Think of the astronaut drifting toward the event horizon in a film, the tension of the unknown palpable as the void looms closer. It's not just a physical boundary being crossed, but a metaphysical one, a confrontation with oblivion itself. Why do we craft such narratives around these celestial enigmas? Perhaps because they embody a duality that resonates within us, the allure of discovery and the terror of annihilation. But it's not only in fiction that black holes hold sway over our psyche. Philosophers too have found in them a metaphor for the human condition. They speak to the existential dread of the unknown, the vast emptiness that seems to underlie existence. When we gaze into a black hole, even in thought, are we not gazing into the parts of ourselves we dare not face? The fears of being consumed, of losing ourselves to forces beyond our control, of disappearing without a trace into some unfathomable darkness. These are not just cosmic concerns, but deeply personal ones. A black hole, in its unrelenting pull, mirrors the way grief, doubt, or longing can draw us in, warping our sense of time and self until we feel stretched thin, almost unrecognizable. Take a moment to reflect on this. What is it within you that feels like a void, a place where light cannot escape, where thoughts and emotions spiral inward, hidden even from yourself? Is there awe in that darkness, or only fear? Historically, humanity has always been drawn to the incomprehensible, projecting our inner turmoil onto the mysteries of the natural world. In ancient times, the void was the primordial chaos from which all things emerged, a yawning emptiness that both birthed and threatened creation. Black holes, in a way, are modern incarnations of that ancient chaos, a place where the rules of reality collapse, where order gives way to something beyond understanding. In the 20th century, as science began to unravel their nature, they became cultural icons of the Cold War era's anxieties, embodying fears of nuclear annihilation or the collapse of civilization into an inescapable darkness. Even today, they linger in our collective mind as symbols of ultimate unknowns, climate catastrophe, technological singularity, or the end of time itself. Why do we imbue them with such weight? Perhaps because they give form to the formless, a way to grapple with fears too vast to name. Yet, there is also awe in this projection, a yearning for transcendence. Black holes are not just symbols of destruction, they are emblems of the infinite, of possibilities that lie beyond the horizon of our comprehension. In their depths, we imagine gateways to other universes, to realms where the constraints of our reality might not apply. They become, in our stories and dreams, places of rebirth, where the old is consumed and something new emerges. Is this not a reflection of our own longing to escape the mundane, to shed the weight of our limitations and step into something greater? The black hole, in its mystery, offers a kind of hope, a promise that even in the darkest void, there might be a hidden light, a new beginning waiting to be uncovered. And so, as we lie awake in the stillness, contemplating these cosmic giants, we are not merely pondering physics or astronomy. We are wrestling with ourselves, our fears of being swallowed by the unknown, our aspirations to transcend it, and our endless curiosity about what lies on the other side of the dark. A black hole, in the end, is not just a phenomenon of space, but a phenomenon of the human spirit, a shadow cast by our own questions onto the vastness of the universe. Take a moment to reflect on this. When you think of the infinite darkness of a black hole, what emotions stir within you? Is it dread that grips your heart? Or is it wonder at the possibilities hidden in the void? Let that feeling linger as we sit together in the quiet, pondering the mysteries that bind us to the cosmos. Imagine for a moment that you are suspended in the vast emptiness of space, surrounded by an infinite sea of stars, yet your gaze is drawn to a single point, a void so profound that it seems to pull at the very fabric of your being. This is no ordinary darkness, but a black hole, a cosmic chasm that devours light, time, and understanding. As you stare into this abyss, a quiet unease settles over you, not of fear, but of something deeper, something existential. What does it mean to exist in a universe that harbors such incomprehensible voids, places that seem to swallow everything in their path, leaving nothing behind? How do we, as fleeting specks of consciousness, grapple with the weight of such indifference? Consider The sheer scale of it all. We are but momentary flickers of life on a tiny planet, orbiting an unremarkable star in a galaxy among billions. And yet, scattered throughout this cosmic expanse are these enigmatic entities, black holes, born of cataclysm and collapse, their presence a reminder of nature's capacity for both creation and annihilation. To contemplate them is to confront our own smallness, to feel the dizzying vertigo of our place in the grand tapestry. A black hole does not care for our dreams, our struggles, or our triumphs. It simply is, an unyielding force that bends reality to its will, a silent witness to the passage of eons. And in that silence, we are forced to ask, if the universe contains such voids, such relentless erasers of existence, what then is the purpose of our own fleeting light? Take a moment to reflect on this. Let the weight of that question settle over you like a gentle shadow. Are we diminished by the presence of these cosmic giants, or does their very existence challenge us to find meaning in defiance of their indifference? Perhaps the black hole is not merely a destroyer, but a mirror, reflecting back to us the fragility of our own lives. Just as it pulls in everything that dares to approach, so too do we feel the pull of our own unknowns, the questions we cannot answer, the voids within our hearts and minds that we dare not explore. What is it about the darkness that both terrifies and compels us? Is it possible that in staring into the void, we are searching not for answers about the universe, but for answers about ourselves? Let us linger on this thought a little longer. Imagine the black hole as a metaphor for all that we cannot grasp. The mysteries of death, the uncertainty of tomorrow, the vast stretches of time that existed before us and will continue long after we are gone. In its unyielding pull, we sense a kind of inevitability, a reminder that all things, no matter how bright or enduring they seem, will one day be consumed by something greater. And yet, is there not a strange comfort in this? To know that even the stars themselves must bow to such a force that nothing is truly permanent might release us from the burden of striving for immortality. Perhaps the black hole teaches us not to fear the void, but to embrace it as part of the cycle, a return to the nothingness from which all things emerge. As we drift in this quiet contemplation, let us wonder further. Does the black hole's indifference strip away meaning, or does it gift us the freedom to create our own? In a universe that does not owe us significance, every act of love, every moment of wonder, every quiet thought shared in the stillness of night becomes an act of rebellion against the void. We are here, for however brief a time, and in our fleeting existence, we can choose to weave stories, to seek beauty, to connect with one another across the vast distances of space and time. The black hole may swallow light, but it cannot extinguish the spark of human curiosity, the yearning to understand, to reach out into the darkness and say, I am here. Take another moment to reflect on this. Feel the quiet strength of your own presence, even in the face of such cosmic vastness. The black hole may be a void, but it is not the end of meaning. It is a challenge, an invitation to look deeper, to find purpose, not in the eternal, but in the ephemeral. As you ponder this, let the weight of the universe fade into a gentle calm, a reminder that even in the shadow of the incomprehensible, there is space for wonder, for peace, for the simple act of being. And so, we continue to gaze into the void, not with dread, but with a quiet resolve, knowing that even in a universe of endless darkness, our light, however small, still shines. Imagine a future where the deepest mysteries of the cosmos are no longer out of reach, where the silent, shadowy heart of a black hole beckons us not as a distant enigma, but as a frontier we are poised to explore. What if, in the coming decades, we could peer into the abyss with clarity, unveiling truths that have eluded us for centuries? Let this thought linger as we drift into a realm of possibility, where the boundaries of science and imagination blur, and the void itself whispers secrets we are only beginning to understand. As we stand on the cusp of this new era, consider The tools humanity is forging, gravitational wave detectors that ripple through the fabric of space-time, capturing the echoes of cosmic collisions, and simulations so intricate they recreate the violent dance of black holes merging in the distant reaches of the universe. These are not mere instruments. They are keys to a locked vault, each advancement bringing us closer to the edge of the event horizon. Picture a scientist, late at night, staring at a screen filled with data, the faint hum of machinery in the background, as a signal from a black hole's tremble reaches Earth for the first time in pristine detail. What must it feel like to witness the invisible made tangible, to touch the untouchable through the language of mathematics and waves? Yet, as we inch closer to these revelations, a quiet unease stirs beneath the excitement. What truths might we uncover in the heart of the void? Could we find that black holes are not merely graves of stars, but gateways to something beyond our comprehension? Perhaps a mirror of our own universe, or a canvas of laws so alien they shatter our understanding of reality? Or might we discover something simpler, yet equally profound? A confirmation of our place in the cosmic tapestry, a reminder that even in the vastness of the unknown, there is a thread of connection binding us to the stars. Take a moment to reflect on this. What would it mean to you to know the secrets of a black hole, to hold a fragment of the universe's deepest mystery in your mind? History whispers to us of moments like this, when humanity stood at the threshold of the unknown, trembling with both anticipation and dread. Think of the first sailors who ventured beyond the horizon, unsure if they would find land or fall into an endless abyss. Their courage, driven by a primal need to know, mirrors our own as we reach toward these cosmic voids. But unlike the oceans of old, the abyss of a black hole does not promise a shore. It offers instead a riddle wrapped in darkness, a puzzle that may take generations to solve. And in that slow unraveling, there is a strange beauty, a reminder that some questions are not meant for quick answers, but for quiet contemplation across lifetimes. Let us linger on this thought as we imagine a distant tomorrow, where a spacecraft, guided by minds yet unborn, approaches the edge of a black hole, not with fear, but with reverence. It sends back images or data we cannot yet fathom, perhaps a glimpse of warped time, or a shadow of the singularity itself. What would we feel in that moment, as a species, knowing we have touched the untouchable? Would it fill us with awe, or would it deepen the mystery, leaving us with more questions than before? There is a stillness in this imagining, a calm that comes from standing at the edge of understanding, knowing that whatever lies beyond, it will redefine us. And so, we must ask ourselves, are we prepared for the revelations that await? Not just in the scientific sense, but in the philosophical, the existential. If black holes reveal truths that challenge the very nature of reality, will we embrace them, or will we turn away, clinging to the familiar? Imagine yourself in that future, gazing at a sky no longer filled with distant riddles, but with answers that reshape your sense of self. What would you hope to find in the heart of the void? A reflection of our own impermanence, or a promise of something eternal? As we drift through these thoughts, let the quiet of the unknown settle around you. The future of black hole exploration is not just a scientific endeavor. It is a journey into the essence of wonder itself. It is a call to look beyond what we see, to question what we know, and to find solace in the vastness that surrounds us. For in reaching toward the abyss, we are reaching toward ourselves, seeking not just answers, but the courage to live with the questions that may never be resolved. Take a moment to reflect on this. What truths do you seek in the darkness, and how will they shape the way you see the universe and your place within it? Imagine, for a moment, that you are suspended in the vast, silent expanse of space, weightless and alone, with nothing but an endless void stretching out before you. There, at the edge of your perception, lies a black hole, a cosmic enigma so profound that even the light dares not whisper its secrets. Its presence is not a sound, not a sight, but a feeling, a quiet pull that tugs at the very essence of who you are. As we draw this journey to a close, let us return to this silent allure, to the abyss that has haunted our thoughts and stirred our deepest questions. Picture yourself drifting near its edge once more, close enough to sense the boundary where reality itself seems to falter, where the unknown beckons with a promise of both destruction and possibility. Feel the stillness around you, the way the universe holds its breath in the presence of such a force. This black hole, this void, is not merely a scar in the fabric of space-time. It is a mirror reflecting the uncharted depths of our own minds. What is it that draws us to this edge, night after night, as we lie in the quiet of our own thoughts? Is it the thrill of standing at the brink of oblivion? Or is it something more, a yearning to understand what lies beyond, to touch the untouchable, to know the unknowable? As you hover here, weightless in the cosmic dark, consider the pull of the abyss not as a threat, but as an invitation to surrender to wonder, to let go of the need for answers and simply exist within the mystery. Take a moment to reflect on this. Let your mind wander to the edge of that event horizon, where time slows to a whisper and the rules of existence seem to dissolve. What questions linger in the corners of your thoughts? Perhaps it's the question of what you might find if you cross that invisible line. Would it be annihilation or a new beginning? Or perhaps it's a quieter, more personal inquiry. What voids do you carry within yourself? Those unseen depths that pull at your soul in moments of silence. The black hole, in all its devastating beauty, seems to ask us not to fear the unknown, but to embrace it, to let it shape the contours of our dreams and curiosities. As you drift closer, in your imagination, notice how the pull intensifies, not as a force of destruction, but as a gentle reminder of impermanence. Everything, even the mightiest of stars, is drawn into this cycle of collapse and renewal. And yet, within this ending, there is possibility. Some say black holes might be gateways, portals to realms beyond our comprehension. Others suggest they are archives, holding the echoes of all that has ever been. But here, in this moment, let us not seek to define them. Let us simply feel their presence, a quiet hum in the vastness of space, a reminder that not all mysteries need solving to hold meaning. Consider how this enigma has followed you through the hours, weaving its way into the fabric of your thoughts. Has it stirred a sense of awe, or perhaps a quiet unease? Has it reminded you of the fleeting nature of time, or the infinite possibilities that lie just beyond our grasp? As you linger here, near the edge of the abyss, let these questions settle into your mind, like stars in the night sky, distant yet ever present, guiding you into a deeper stillness. The black hole does not demand answers. It simply exists, a silent companion to our wonder. And so, as you prepare to surrender to the night, let the image of this cosmic void linger in your imagination. Picture yourself drifting away from its edge now, not with fear, but with a quiet reverence. Let its mystery shape your dreams, its silence cradle your thoughts. What will you carry with you from this encounter? A sense of smallness against the vastness of the universe, or a renewed curiosity for the hidden wonders that await? As the darkness of space envelops you once more, let the enigma of the abyss be a gentle lullaby, whispering of the unknown, guiding you into the embrace of sleep.